So it's your boy Kai, Ashra Kai here, and today we'll be doing What If Luffy was Shanks on Part 7. Now, without further ado, let's get started. We left off at Luffy meeting Koby. Oh, yo, Koby, it's been a while. Yeah, it has, Luffy. Did you get hockey yet? Yeah, I actually learned it from Garp. Zoro will also greet Koby, and Helmeppo will come in and ask does he remember him. Zoro just has no recollection of him at all, and Helmeppo will start crying comedically. Zoro would eventually remember him and says, "Oh, it seems you got stronger," and Helmeppo will cry tears of joy over Zoro remembering. Luffy would then say, "It's been a while, so let's talk, Koby." Him, Koby, and Zoro, and even Helmeppo will talk, and they would walk off to talk, and Garp would just return to the ship. Koby would then ask Luffy, does he know about the new world? Of course, that's where I'm going, me and my crew. That's where we're heading next. Koby is surprised and says that soon they'll go there too, and when we meet in a new world, let's have a battle. Though I'll kick your ass, laughs Luffy. Koby would just sweat drop being nervous, but he accepts the challenge. And he would say that he would meet them in a new world, and bow, also saying he'll be a Navy Admiral one day. And Luffy says, I don't doubt it. Now get out of here, you brat, as Koby and Helmeppo will leave. After this, the Straw Hats have a huge party where all of the Water 7 is invited, and they ate and partied to the fullest. After they go to, they head to the shore because Frankie told them so, and there they see their new ship, and it's just amazing. Luffy loves it already and thanked Frankie, and he says, thank God I have you as my shipwright. After they get onto the ship, Frankie would leave as his brothers and sisters would see him off crying as Frankie would turn around acting like he's not crying, and they are sailing away. As they're sailing away, they then hear cannonballs blast at them. However, Sanji kicked a couple away and Zoro sliced a couple down. After this, Luffy would run out of his captain's room, and then he would see Garp throwing cannonballs at him. However, Luffy is easily knocking these cannonballs away and then extends his haki to the ship so it wouldn't get damaged, protecting the ship and armament haki. Luffy would then jump off the head of the ship into the air, and Garp would do the same as they clash haki. As it blows away the water and the seas, they both jump back onto their respective ships before giving each other a smile. Frankie would use the flying mode onto the Sunny, and they would fly off as Luffy yells goodbye to Garp, as Garp feels some sense of pride in Luffy. As they manage to fly off escaping, we see the crewmates checking out the new ship, loving it. Cut to black and see the Straw Hats a few days later sailing. However, while they're sailing, it gets dark and the air is like purple, as well as the clouds being purple and like black. Luffy will yawn as nothing fun has happened in a while. However, they come across a large ship, a huge ship. Luffy sees a skeleton on it, and everybody besides Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro are creeped out as Luffy says, let's go on the ship. Sounds like fun. Agreed. It's been boring. Excuse me for all background noises. Yeah, it's been boring, Zoro would say. You're telling me, Usopp would say. They would then jump onto the ship where they see a skeleton with the afro, as Luffy says, how interesting. Brook would then make skeleton jokes, and they all actually come to like Brook eventually, so they invite him on board the Sunny. They land onto the Thousand Sunny, Nami, Chopper, and some with Robin and Frankie would be a little creeped out. Brook actually introduces himself, and eventually they see that he's pretty cool as they eat and talk together. Luffy then offers Brook to join his crew, but Brook says that he would love to, however he can't. His shadow has been stolen, so he can't go out in the daylight with them or he'll perish. Luffy's eyes will go white with rage, and he then says, tell us who's the bastard who took your shadow. As the haki coming off of Luffy will shake the entire Thriller bark. Brook tells him to calm down as Luffy does so, and Brook would then say, sorry, but this is my responsibility, before jumping off the ship onto the water, running on water. After him, Frankie, Luffy would say, yes sir, our friend do this by himself, and we're gonna kick whoever stole his shadow's ass. They would then get onto Thriller Bark, eventually walking around, eventually coming across zombies, to which Nami, Chopper, and Robin actually will make quick work of. After that, they continue to walk around, and then they come across these ghosts as they go through Sanji, making him depressed. and try to go through the other crewmates. However, Luffy uses Conqueror's Haki advance to on his hand, punching the air as it hits the Horo Horo Ghost, dispersing them. After they would walk in, after they're walking in the forest, and Nami is scared as hell along with Chopper, but they meet this old man running up to them with the lantern, begging them to get his shadow back, saying that they're the only ones who can. He explains that the one who took his shadow is known as Gecko Moria, and he is a warlord of the seas. Luffy would then say that looks like we'll just have to take everybody's shadows back from that bastard as they get to the castle. Luffy uses sky jump as he would be high in the sky, as he would then channel Conqueror's Haki as a blast, as he throws the blast of Conqueror's Haki at the castle, blowing it up. After that, the only survivors were Gecko Moria, Ryuma, Brook, and Perona. Plot reasons. The whole crew never knew that Luffy could channel Haki like that, as Luffy thinks, I trained harder than ever after Water 7. I lost to an Admiral, and if I died, I would have put all my friends in danger. I can never let that happen again. The Straw Hats would then walk into the rubble as Ryuma and Gecko Moria rises along with Perona and the Doctor. Luffy speeds to Gecko Moria, throwing his cape off as he punches Gecko Moria, sending him flying. Gecko Moria then jumps into the air using Shadow Fruit, making Shadow Balls to throw at Luffy. Luffy is dodging every single one with after observation Haki, having his eyes closed, as he then disappears and reappears behind Moria using Suru enhanced with Haki, making it much stronger and faster, as Gecko Moria barely can keep up as Luffy punches him, scoring his face, sending him through trees. With Zoro, he sees Brook, and Zoro asks, is he the one with your shadow? Pointing at Ryuma, and Brook nods. Zoro then says, don't worry, I'll kick his ass, as he speeds behind Ryuma with the light slash, as Ryuma barely blocks. However, when he goes to counter Zoro, Zoro is gone, and above him with another slash as it comes down on Ryuma like an axe kick, but Ryuma blocks barely. Ryuma's feet gets buried into the ground, and then Zoro is gone again, and in front of him, stabbing him through the side. Ryuma will fall to his knees for a while before standing up, and then swinging his sword around, dashing at Zoro, as Zoro swings his swords around, dashing at him. As they clash, Ryuma loses the clash, and Zoro has not a scratch on him. Ryuma will then fall, and with Ryuma dying, he gives Zoro his sword to Zoro. With Brook's shadow returning to him, he then goes to help Robin with the extra zombies. We then see Sanji getting punched, but he can't tell what it is. However, he uses observation Haki as he knows it is someone, and that someone is being Salon, who tried to punch him again. Sanji dodges this and then kicks him into the air, then disappearing and appearing above him, kicking him back into the ground with the axe kick, as Salon will slowly get up on his knees. Sanji would then land again and kick him into the rubble, knocking him out. We then see Robin and Brook dealing with some of the leftover zombies, only about 20, as they are dominating the battle. And when we then see Chopper and Frankie dealing with the Dr. Hogback, who has some kind of combat skill here. As he would try to go for Chopper, Chopper would dodge all of his attacks, and then Frankie would punch him, and then Chopper kicked him, and really with one shot, Hogback is out cold. We then see Luffy with Gecko Moria, and Gecko Moria will try to get up, but Luffy kicks him, sending him flying, and Luffy just tracks him down, punching him into the ground, making him pounce, and flew up from pouncing off the ground, and then Luffy would just punch him again and then use a Haki blast on him, and Gecko Moria is near death. The only reason he lives is because Luffy allows him to. Brook tells Robin about the salt, and they throw salt into the remaining zombies' mouths. As the shadows that were in the zombies return. Gecko Moria would get back up, absorbing every single shadow on the island, even Luffy's and everything. Luffy says, I spared you, but it seems you just want to die. Gecko Moria would then become giant at the same time, senseless though. As he tries to crush Luffy with his hand, Luffy would dodge and to the right, jumping on Moria's hand, running up his arm, as he then punches him with Advanced Conqueror's Haki, uppercutting him, sending him flying into the rubble, as that hit killed him, or put him in permanent coma, whatever. He's basically dead. and every shadow is then returned to the owner, the original owner. Everyone thanks the Straw Hats are as they are getting ready to leave. Yo, Luffy, does that offer to join your crew still stand? Of course, welcome aboard, Brooke. As they would then go to the shore. I apologize. And a man appears and Luffy yells, "Get back, everyone!" as Kuma tries to touch Robin. However, Luffy comes in, grabbing Kuma by his wrist with Haki on his hands, punching Kuma in the face, sending him flying. Luffy will then say, "Kuma has one of the most powerful devil fruits. He can send you flying with the paw fruit by reflecting you. He can reflect anything." Kuma appears behind Luffy trying to touch him, but Luffy would block with Conqueror's Haki as, you know, it blocks Kuma's hand without even touching him. And he would then he would then appear above Kuma, punching him into the ground as he then uses an axe kick, then puts Haki on his feet and stumps him into the ground as the ground cracks and Kuma would fall through, like the ship of Thriller Bark, because Thriller Bark is a ship, making Kuma fall into the water. And Luffy says it's time to go as they get onto the Sunny and sail. Kuma would allow them to escape, but he would then survive by reflecting the water, sending him back up onto Thriller Bark. And the Straw Hats would ask Luffy, where now? And Luffy says, "Isn't it obvious? The Sabaody, because we need to be coded to go to the new world." We then cut to the next day as this huge Sea King would fly above the Straw Hats, and then Luffy would use Haki blast to shoot it down. If you're wondering when Luffy got this, it is after Water 7, because he was almost killed by an Admiral. The Sea King will fall back into the sea, but this girl will come out of its mouth. I believe that's how it went. And then she lands on the ship. Luffy asks her for her name and where she's from, and she says Kami, and she's a mermaid. The crew would then get to know her and everything, and she would ask could the Straw Hats take her back home, and Luffy agrees before she gets a call on her transponder snail, and the people over the phone says that they have her friend who is Hachi. Hachi tries to tell Kami not to come, but she doesn't listen and asks Luffy for help to save Hachi. Luffy agrees as well to that, and they would go to the island where he is. Once they arrive, some guys flying on these these flying waivers will actually recognize Luffy and is terrified of him as they are scared to even get close, but no matter, because Usopp will quite easily snipe them out of the air, snipe them out of the sky, while Sanji and Zoro and Luffy leap off the ship onto the island as Sanji kicks down all of the lackeys along with Zoro slicing them down. And after this, Luffy notices the one in the cage is Hachi. Luffy reluctantly decides to save him anyways, telling Zoro to cut the bars of the prison, the cell, as he would, and Hachi would thank Luffy and Zoro. After that, the leader would then come out and try to attack Luffy. However, Sanji comes in and kicked his helmet off, to which he would still look like how he looks in canon. But he doesn't hate Sanji for it, because Sanji didn't get a fake bounty poster. Here this time, he does this because he is outcasted and called ugly. So it's goofy per canon. Sanji just kicks him around, rearranging his face as the man would thank Sanji and swear loyalty to the Straw Hats, and Sanji would yell, "Shut up," and Hachi would cook them whatever he cooked them in canon. I forgot what it was, to be honest. And they ask, can he lead them to Sabaody, and he agrees, so they start heading to Sabaody. 2 days later, they then arrive as they get off, and wait, don't do anything reckless, please. Even if you see somebody die, just don't do anything, Hachi would ask. Luffy would then knows exactly what he means as the celestial dragons makes his blood boils as he says no, walking away. Saying, if I see something I don't like, I'm gonna take action. If I can't do that, how will I be the freest man in the world? Hachi is shocked at how brave Luffy is, and Luffy then says, "You hear that, guys? If any of you see some celestial dragon scum acting out, stop it." The crew would then nod as they are all eventually split up to go explore the island, as Sanji is with Kami. However, he takes his eyes off her to buy her some cotton candy, and she is actually kidnapped per canon. Sanji comes back and notices her gone, so he goes to tell Luffy. We cut back to Zoro, who is walking while a celestial dragon is as well. Zoro is walking in his path, not caring, as the Celestial Dragon attempts to shoot him. Zoro would dodge the bullets and is about to slash him down when Bonnie stops him and the Celestial Dragon leaves. And yeah, she stopped him just like how she did in canon, making Zoro think he's making him think that he shot Zoro down. Bonnie asked Zoro what the hell is wrong with him, and Zoro would then say, "What's wrong with me? The hell is wrong with you? I could have killed him." Yeah, but then an Admiral would be sent here, dumbass. And I fought an Admiral before. I don't care. I would have killed him too. Bonnie does realize this is the first mate of red hair Luffy, and she says whatever. Zoro then starts heading back to Luffy, and we then cut to Sanji, who is with Luffy. They have Kami. They took her, probably as a slave, and she's up for auction right now. Luffy's eyes would then go white with rage as Zoro as well catches up and hears the news. Hachi tries to speak to tell Luffy no, but Luffy just glares at him with Conqueror's Haki, and this silences him. Let's go. The Straw Hats will then follow Luffy as Luffy punches through the wall at the auction house, seeing Kami in a glass sink with water. Every noble would then look at Luffy and his crew as Luffy has no words as he starts walking towards Kami. Haki then tries to stop him as he ends up using his extra arms, revealing that he's a fishman as Luffy continues to walk. He hears a gunshot and then looks back to see Hachi falling to the ground as Luffy's eyes was widen, and he would kneel to Hachi, who is on the ground, and Hachi says don't, and this is his fault. He just wanted to make amends, but look at what happened and look at what he's done. He's just caused them more trouble. He says he's sorry. Luffy then looks up at the Celestial Dragon, using Conqueror's Haki to strike fear in him, walking up to him slowly. The Celestial Dragon would shoot multiple bullets at Luffy, but Luffy would just dodge all until Luffy is point-blank range to him and punches him in the face with all his might, sending him flying into a wall. Everyone is shocked at what he did, as he is truly fearless. Law would say as Kid would smile, and Zoro would then use Black Slash, cutting Kami out of that tank as she is free, and then thanks them, but is worried for Hachi. Luffy then says Chopper, he needs medical attention. Chopper would then say right and walk up to Hachi and get on it. Luffy would then say the rest of you get prepared for another fight, as an Admiral would be coming, and they would nod. Shortly after, Luffy hears footsteps and detects somebody with his observation, and this man, Conqueror's Haki, would then knock out all of the nobles in the room besides the Straw Hats, Kid, and Law. Well, they're not nobles, so anyways, so it's you, yo, old man Rayleigh, and Rayleigh would say, "You're Luffy, aren't you?" smiling. They would then walk up to each other as they've never met, but from the stories they heard of about each other, it's as if they had. Luffy tells the Straw Hats that this is Roger's first mate and the instructor of my father, Shanks. They will all be surprised and say Dark King Rayleigh, and even Kid and Law will be a bit surprised. After Luffy, Kid, and Law and the others were sent the threats outside, Kid, Law, and Luffy and the Straw Hats would then walk outside to see a wave of Pacifista, who are much stronger now, around 50 times, because Luffy is an absolute beast. Plus the Pacifista have Haki, and the crew then starts to battle. Luffy speeding to a Pacifista, kicking him, then punching him 2 times, blowing it up. Zoro and Sanji would slash and kick, and Usopp is sniping them all around, attacking as well with his fist and feet. While Nami and Robin and Frankie are working together, so they're good. With Kid and Law helps dismantling these Pacifista. Luffy would then yell to his crew, "I'm pushing ahead, guys, take them down for me," as the crew would then say, "Of course," and agree as he speeds past the Pacifista, but not before blowing up 15 of them, running towards the Admiral who just arrived, until he is stopped by the real Kuma as he would try and touch Luffy. Luffy would jump over his hand and kick him. Kuma would then dodge and attempt to backhand Luffy, but Luffy would then duck and uppercut Kuma, sending him stumbling, but the Straw Hats take down their Pacifista, leaving the one left to Kid and Law. The Straw Hats would then start running to Luffy, and they see Luffy facing off against the real Kuma, who has a huge power buff here. Luffy then says, "Damn it," as he knows Zoro and Sanji and probably Usopp can handle it, but Robin, Nami, Chopper, and Frankie can't. He tells them to stay back, but they don't listen as Kuma runs in, touching Nami, making her disappear as Luffy's eyes will widen. He then goes after Chopper, but Zoro will block his Kuma will go after Chopper, but Zoro will block um Kuma's hand with his blade, using it to block his wrist from touching Chopper. Luffy then senses Kizaru flying in as light as Luffy dashes to him with Soru, and they clash fist and leg. Kizaru making multiple light blades appearing behind Luffy, about to stab them in his back. Luffy uses Soru appearing in the middle of them, uh, using Haki to blow them up, then kicking Kizaru in the chin. Kizaru would get sent up a bit, getting lifted off his feet, but Kizaru then turns into light, making light balls surrounding them around Luffy along with Haki, so they blow up on impact. But then Luffy tells Zoro to throw him his blade, as Zoro throws him a blade while fighting Kuma. Luffy then grabs it, putting Conqueror's Haki into it, spinning it around, slicing each light ball in half, a way that the impact goes into the opposite direction, blowing up. As Kizaru is behind him with the light blade, Luffy turns around, grabbing the blade, and bursts with Haki energy, as that just makes Kizaru bleed from the arms but he turns into light, flying back a bit to get some distance. With Zoro, Kuma tries to touch Zoro, but Zoro jumps onto his arm, running up it, slicing Kuma's neck, but Kuma dodges it in time and tries to touch Zoro again, but Zoro backflips off his shoulder, using 280-pound Phoenix with Haki, slashing Kuma on his back. A swarm of more pacifistas would then come, and then Robin and Frankie and Chopper, as well as Usopp, will have to defend themselves. However, Sanji arrives, kicking the pacifista once, making it blow up, using Haki on his legs, as instead of regular flames on his foot, there are blue flames. With all these clashes going on of power in one area, Zoro is having a hard time battling Kuma, as he dodges a pacifista as well, and then backflips, dodging pacifistas who keep trying to attack him, as he would then slash one down, blowing it up, but Kuma is then behind him, touching him, making him disappear. Luffy's eyes will widen, as now he is really pissed off, but Luffy then senses another Admiral, Aokiji. But Sanji flies in, kicking at Aokiji, and Aokiji dodges, and he grabs Sanji's leg, trying to freeze him. But the blue flames on Sanji's leg would just burn the ice off as he tries to freeze him. I apologize for all the stumbling over my words, but yeah. Kuma is now dealing with Usopp, as Usopp is behind him, trying to punch him in the back, but Kuma turns around and grabs Usopp's arm, touching him, making him disappear. And Luffy is just shocked even more, but still has to battle the Admiral, so yeah, he keeps on his toes. Kuma then manages to get Robin and Frankie at the same time with a double kill in one hit, as Luffy is about to help, but Kizaru would appear behind him with an axe kick. Luffy blocks this with Zoro's sword bursting with Haki onto the sword, then slashing upward at Kizaru, making him bleed some. Luffy is about to run after Kuma to stop him from touching Chopper, but Kizaru appears in front of him, kicking him into the ground as Kuma touches Chopper, making him disappear. Luffy would get pissed off, taking Zoro's blade, jumping into the sky, powering the blade with Ryu, and advanced Kakuro's Haki, slashing it down faster than light, as Kizaru gets hit with this bleeding from his head, but appeared behind Luffy and shoots a light beam through his shoulder. And Luffy would then grunt in pain, and back with the fight with Sanji and Aokiji. Sanji uses barrage of kicks on Aokiji. However, Aokiji counters with a barrage of punches, and they're all Haki blows. Sanji would then appear behind Aokiji using the axe kick, but Aokiji would turn around, blocking it, then throwing Sanji into the air whilst freezing his upper body, and the blue flames will start to melt it, but not before Kuma jumps into the air, touching Sanji, making him disappear. He is now in great despair, seeing all of his friends disappearing, thinking that they might be dead. And he doesn't know the details of Kuma's devil fruit. He just knows if he touches you, it's over. Also, sorry if it was some nerfs here and there, but I had to do it for the sake of the story. And also, all of those people fighting in one place with all the clashes and Haki blows and pacifistas surrounding them, plus 2 Admirals, and all Kuma has to do is touch them one time. Plus, I buffed the pacifista and Kuma. Yeah, you can't tell me they wouldn't get sent flying at this point. Luffy at this point almost lost the will to fight, but now he gets back. He bounces back eventually and has to deal with two admirals plus Kuma. It's getting harder and harder, and Aokiji attempts to freeze Luffy, but Luffy backflips, blasting Haki at him, which it hits, but he gets sent into a tree. However, Kizaru will speed behind him, about to stab Luffy, and Luffy will backflip over his body, enveloping his blade, and Ryu attempting to cleave Kizaru's head straight off. Kizaru manages to get out of the way in time. However, Aokiji gets up and they both attack together, dashing at Luffy. As Luffy blocks their rush but gets sent flying into Kuma, who touched him, sending him flying. We then fade to black, and then we cut to see Luffy 3 days later as Luffy is unconscious on an island where this blonde-haired girl finds him, and he's then bathed and put into a cell. By the way, he's still unconscious while that happens. Luffy then wakes up and says, "Where am I?" And Luffy then looks at his shirt and snatches the frills off and asks, "Who are all of you?" Luffy would then say, annoyed, I asked the question. The woman would just jump back using arrows, putting Haki into it, and then shoot it at Luffy. However, Luffy counters with Katakura's Haki, blowing the arrows into smithereens and busting out of the cage. As he would grab the girl who brought him into the, put him in a cage and found him. And he then jumps off a cliff, landing on his feet, protecting his legs with Haki. After he lands, he tells her to just explain what's going on and where is he, and she does eventually. After getting a reminder of what happened to his friends, Luffy kind of gets a little depressed, and she takes a minute to look at him. He's a pretty good person and a pretty good looking one too. Pause. It's in her opinion, bro. Chill. Yeah. She asks Luffy what is he doing here, and Luffy explains everything. After she tries to end Luffy before she becomes too attached, Luffy says, "Don't try it. You won't be able to scratch me with that." However, the others would arrive, hunting Luffy down with arrows, and Luffy, getting tired of this, knocked them all out with Conqueror's Haki. He then takes them, and he then remembers tales of this island, and he says, if I'm not mistaken, the one who rules this is Boa Hancock, the warlord. He then waits for her at the shore, and she asks who he is after arriving. And immediately before Luffy could respond, she tries to turn him into stone, but it doesn't even work because Luffy isn't that innocent, but he just isn't focused on her looks right now and his more important things because he has to get to his crew. So all of his concern is on his crew. And so she failed. She actually is surprised by this and said, Luffy says, just give me a ship and I'll be leaving this, and it doesn't have to be this complicated. But she then challenges Luffy, saying that if he beats her sisters, she will give him a ship to leave. But yeah, and if he beats her, he'll not be killed. Luffy accepts this time, and when the other warriors will pretty much wake up and bow to Boa as they head to like the stone arena where they were at in canon. The battle begins with the snake-like one speeding to Luffy, but before she even attacks Luffy, Luffy says that punch won't work. Huh? She would then punch as Luffy would dodge, and they would be surprised that he has observation Haki as well. The other one would speed behind him, punching him. However, he would dodge and then kick, and Luffy blocks the attack, the follow-up attack that she tried to use against him. With different, Luffy would then grab both of the sisters and swing them both around like rag dolls or towels, and then slamming them into the ground. Everyone would be shocked that the two strongest warriors, other than a snake princess, are getting beaten this badly. Luffy would constantly dodge the attacks from the sisters, watching. Even though Luffy is beating on her sisters right now, she can't help but to feel weak in the knees as she would be blushing. Luffy would appear above them, sky jumping, then punching the sister in the stomach, making her cough up blood, then fall to her knees as the other would try to choke him with her tail, but Luffy would knock her into the other sister, knocking them both on the edge as they save themselves by grabbing onto the stands as their slave symbol is about to show, but then Luffy covers it up for them and then helps them up, and they see Luffy as a genuine good guy. Boa says that she'll help Luffy, and we then cut to with Luffy and Boa in the palace as she is telling Luffy her story. Luffy says that celestial dragons are scum. I'll erase every single last one of them one day, and I swear it, so everyone can be free. Boa just actually feels the Conqueror's haki emitted from Luffy and is actually making it hard for her to breathe. And Luffy sees this and stops his Conqueror's haki and apologizes. Boa will say it's fine, blushing as in some weird freaky way. She liked it. Anyways, Luffy would take note that she clearly has a crush on him, but Luffy really doesn't want to think about that right now. Comment when you want the ship to be here. I'm giving you three options: Luffy and Nami, Luffy and Robin, or Luffy and Boa. Whichever I see more of, that's what I'll do. Anyways, let's continue. After Luffy would be chilling in like the lounge until Boa has the ship ready, he then grabs onto a newspaper and starts reading it. His eyes would widen in pure shock as he would then be pissed and worried. His haki then bursts, shaking the whole building and eventually the whole Amazon lily. Boa comes running to see what's wrong and she falls to her knees, and shortly after, the same goes for everyone else in the building or everyone else on Amazon Lily. Luffy would eventually stop but then says, Boa, I need a favor to ask of you. Will you take me to Impel Down? And that's why we're ending it off, guys. Hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.